Hey everyone, so if you're like me, your Twitter has been full of bonus hole the last couple weeks. Yep, I said bonus hole. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably pretty weirded out right about now. So, for those of you who don't know, because everybody has already done videos about this, I saw something today that prompted me to finally do this. So, if you don't know, real quick, we're talking about Anna Kasparian of the Young Turks, a progressive news organization on YouTube. And she has decided, for some reason, in the last couple months, to turn on the entire left and specifically the trans community. So she first put out this tweet talking about how she didn't want to be referred to as a birthing person. She wanted to be called a woman. And she addressed this on her show and in other tweets and everything. And she seemed to be under the impression that the entire left, the entire LGBTQ community, the entire trans community, wanted to never use the word woman ever again in any context. They wanted to call people birthing people or whatever, right? And everybody, everybody came out of the woodwork to very gently tell her that she was wrong about this. And she would not accept it. And Jank, of course, jumped in and has been defending her a lot more than she's been defending herself. They've been snapping at everybody. They have burned every single bridge that they have. Other hosts on the network, the ones that are still there, because they've lost a couple already, have said on air, gently, very gently, said that they disagree with her about this. And prompted me to look back the last couple of years because I've been a Young Turks viewer. Where is she getting this idea that no one wanted to use the word woman anymore? And it made me remember there's been several instances over the last couple of years, and more so, that she would on her show say, "Oh my God, I must not be that far left because the whole left thinks this thing, and I disagree." And every time I've heard so many of these from her where the thing that she is claiming the left thinks, I had never even heard of. And I kept thinking to myself, where the hell is she getting this idea that the left thinks this stuff? I hang out in like lefty Twitter and lefty TikTok and all this, never seen any of this stuff. Where is she getting this? And it just dawned on me to piece these things together. She's been saying for years that in her free time, driving around at the gym, whatever, she listens to a lot of right wing media to try to understand where they're coming from, the kind of things they're talking about, etc., for her work. And that can be good, or you can fall into kind of what happened with Bill Maher, where he would constantly invite these Republicans, these right wingers on his show to attack them. And then the attacks became more gentle, now friendly, now like, oh, we just disagree a little bit, and now he's full-blown right winger. But he doesn't think so, because it happened gradually for him. Everyone else saw it, everyone else stopped watching, and that's what's happening with Anna. Because when you hear Republicans, when you hear people on the right, especially the far right, the fringe, the Ben Shapiro's and that type, when you hear them describe leftists, when you hear them describe the kind of things that people on the left want, politically, socially, whatever, it's a caricature on a caricature on a caricature. And it's so... I don't know where they get this stuff. I've had these conversations so many times in comment sessions where people on the right are telling me, well, you people on the left say this. I've never heard anyone say that. So I think Anna bought in to all this stuff that the right was saying about the left, and she believed it. And now she has bought into a bunch of gender critical, TERF, transphobic talking points, and she has thought that's what the whole left thinks, and that's where this whole birthing person woman thing came from. Well, she went on a podcast a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now. Never heard of it before. I don't remember the name of it. But there's so many people talking about it, clipping it, discussing it all over Twitter, where she dug in. She dug in deep on the transphobia. That was a major part of that whole show. And one of the things she mentioned was there was this one article, very small article, where a couple of people were insisting, and this is 3 years ago in the UK, that some inclusive language could be to refer to vaginas as a bonus hole. I have seen dozens upon dozens upon dozens of people on the left, in the LGBTQ community, in the trans community. I listened to the Transatlantic Call-In Show. It's a call-in show about trans issues hosted by trans people. They've never heard of bonus hole. No one on Twitter's heard of bonus hole. It's just this one little article from 3 years ago in the UK. And Anna presented that as if the whole left, the whole trans community, the whole LGBTQ community, they all want to switch to bonus hole over vagina. And I saw a Fox News headline. I don't know if they did a video on it, but there was a headline on Fox News talking about this. Same thing Anna was saying, passing it off as if the whole left wants to do this. And just today, I open up YouTube, and in my recommendations, which I don't know why, but there was a Sky News from Australia, the Rupert Murdoch-owned news corporation, the Fox News of Australia, basically, presenting this as this new thing that the lunatics on the left want. They all want to call it bonus hole instead of vagina. And I went through the comments. I went through probably 100 comments, scanning through them. Vile transphobia and misogyny, and it was just typical what you would expect from a Fox News comment section. And in nowhere did I see Anna Kasparian. Didn't see anyone mentioning that. So now that video has 3 point something million views. So now there's at least 3 million people in Australia thinking that the whole left wants to call vaginas bonus holes now. That's how fast misinformation can spread. And when you have a platform as large as Anna does on the Young Turks, they have like 500,000 YouTube subscribers. They're on all these different TV platforms. They're on every platform you can think of. When you have that large of a platform and you have presented yourself for years as someone who does tons of research, does tons of deep dives into these topics, and she has corrected herself on air on other topics before, but not this one. This one, when the entire community is telling her that she's wrong about something, not something that is her opinion, okay, because she's been spreading misinformation, not just about this, but about puberty blockers, about hormone replacement therapy. When the whole community tells you not that your opinion is wrong, but that you have the facts wrong, and you double down and triple down over and over again, burn every single bridge, that misinformation can spread to the other side of the world very quickly. Because that video, even though I just saw it today, was 10 days ago, or 11 days ago it was uploaded. So at the same time, she goes on a podcast, claims the whole left wants to call vaginas bonus holes, and now there's millions of people, even in Australia, that think that's what we're talking about. I have seen her on the air say the wrong name, pronounce a name wrong, and go on and the next day and, hey, we have to make a correction because we need to get the facts right, and that's our responsibility with such a large platform. But for some reason she's dug her heels in, she's doubling down. And they wonder why hosts are leaving, hosts are disagreeing with them on the air, They just lost like 10 mods off their YouTube, and they're playing it off like everything is fine, but it's not. And when you have a platform, there's a responsibility for that. And one of the people that I learned that from, Anna Kasparian.